my name is Hillary. This is Tara. And this is Cosmic Heart Embodiment for the new moon in Scorpio / Ophiuchus. I invite you to lie down, find a comfortable place, and follow your own guidance throughout this journey. And if there's any way in which my guidance is not supportive for you, just let it flow around you and let it go and really come back to yourself and what you need and follow that. All right? So let's lie down and get comfortable. I invite you to rest into yourself, into your bones, into your being. And breathe in, receive through your bones. Breathe out, release through the bones. Bring present with stability and structure through the bones, as well as the clarity of that support and that form. Breathing in, receiving more and more of your experience. Breathing out and releasing into the floor and into the earth. And I invite you to also explore the connections between the bones as you continue this in-breath, receiving, out-breath, releasing, exploring those joints, bringing in movement and breath into the spaces in between the bones where you have your ligaments. Allowing your body to guide you and show you what would be most supportive for you in your movement. Exploration. And sending some roots down into the earth as well. Honoring the indigenous first peoples of the land where you are. Honoring that they have created and are creating culture through their relationship to the land. And that we can learn from them, as well as learn from our own relationship to the land. So we're transitioning now into the first aspect that we're going to work with for this new moon, which is the new moon itself. So I invite you to follow your own guidance. You can sit up if you want to. You can keep exploring those bones and ligaments. And this new moon that is in Scorpio / Ophiuchus, because in sidereal astrology, if it's not 12 sign, if it is 12 sign, then it's Scorpio, and if it's 13 sign, then it's Ophiuchus, because Ophiuchus is that 13th sign. So, right now, as we are with the sun that is being blocked by the moon, and that's creating a solar eclipse. Like, we're not there yet, but on Monday, or maybe it's after, because you're watching this after Monday. So, and the earth, is being, like, the moon's shadow is being cast over the earth as well, with that solar eclipse. And the sun's rays are being blocked by the moon. So that yang energy is being denuded in a time of going in, being more quiet, more internal with ourselves, and reflecting. As well as this archetype of Scorpio is going into those deep waters and releasing, dying to certain parts of our lives, parts of ourselves even, and really composting what we don't need out of our shadows. That said, Ophiuchus is about bringing up the insights that are there and bringing that up through our awareness and working with this archetype of the serpent bearer that is the actual constellation and bringing those snakes up through our central channel, right? You'll see the caduceus or the rod of Asclepius, which has the snake winding around, and Asclepius, actually, Ophiuchus represents Asclepius in the Greek tradition, who's the founder of modern medicine. So I invite you to explore your spine and how your spine connects to your pelvis. And what you need to bring those lessons out of the darkness. So we're going to work a bit with the excretory system of the colon, the large intestine, releasing energy there throughout this practice, as well as with the urinary tract, that releasing from the resource of the bladder as well. So that's there for us in front right here. So feel into your rectum, feel into your bladder a bit. And release whatever you're ready to release there. Allow yourself to be messy, be in that unknown place. But also prepare your energy to move up the spine with that reproductive system, with your sexual energy, right? With your testes or your ovaries. And I invite us to breathe a circular breath. So we're going to breathe in and create a curvature of the spine with the head back and the pelvis back and the belly forward. And then breathe out and then curve forward with the head down and the pelvis forward. So, and invite you to bring a snake-like quality in. So breathing in and out. In and out. In, forward, out, back. So get a rhythm going. Breathing in, receiving and moving that energy up the spine. Breathing out and releasing down whatever you can release and let go of. So what are you bringing into your life? What are you moving forward out of the darkness, out of the depths, out of those shadows? Maybe it's greater compassion, self-love, nurturance, expansion. Loving some part of you. It's your little baby self. Allowing that part to show up, that tenderness. And releasing whatever needs to be released, whatever energy's been held around that part of yourself, down into the earth with the exhale. Keep going, receiving, releasing. My cat likes to play with me. Bringing that play in. The little girl. And I invite you to make it bigger. arms, opening your chest, because we have Mercury there too. So this is cosmic wisdom that is flowing in from this new moon, Mercury, Sun, and the South Node in Ophiuchus. So you can keep that spinal energy going and bringing in the arms to open yourself to the cosmos. Open your heart. Open yourself to the unknown, to the wisdom, the cosmic wisdom of the past that is present with us through that South Node. Mercury bringing clarity of communication as well. So allowing your throat to stay open and allowing that channel to move through so that you can express that cosmic wisdom that comes maybe just in sound, in toning, in crying, in releasing. So we're going to move on to the next aspect, and this is how we're bringing that energy up into our higher centers, right? And we have a sextile with the new moon, with Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto. So they have been together for a long time now, almost a year, and this is the great conjunction we're moving towards on the 21st. And that is Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter about expansion and this kind of royal energy of possibility, but more of like jovialness, right? Brings expansion and openness, whereas Saturn is more like, okay, let's get down to business, structure, like discipline. So bringing these two together allows for a real birth of leadership, a new form of leadership from higher wisdom. So they are these sovereigns that are ready to support us in birthing what we are needing to create in our lives. So I invite us to keep that undulation going and to keep moving that energy up throughout this practice and noticing what is it that you are needing to birth in your life. Maybe it's, a supportive structure for what you're creating. Maybe it's more freedom in your life. Maybe it's abundance, which creates, the need for structure and freedom, right? So I invite you to bring an image in of what that is and to bring that energy, that sexual energy up your spine as you're moving and exploring. Holding yourself in that highest vision of what you can create for yourself in your world, not just for yourself, for others as well. But we also have Pluto here, right? That is semi-sextile the new moon. So Pluto's energy is more like, let's cut out the bullshit so that we can rise up, right? We can, there's freedom of the space is clear, right? The channels are open. So what is in your way? What has been getting in your way of actually moving forward? Of how you maybe have worked with certain parts of you, been in relationship with those parts that affect relationships in your life. Or also there are beliefs that are attached, been created by those parts, and traumas or challenges that have arisen in your life. So be gentle with yourself around this. Notice what might be out for you. And I invite you to honor that releasing, honor that letting go, that cutting out, that clearing, so that you can rise. That dark feminine is really about that, right? There's a kind of destruction that happens because it needs to. There needs to be a clearing. need to create inside of you for these clear channels to bring that energy up and out. So that you aren't blocked or distracted. What movements will support you to clear, right? And to honor your sovereign self, your queen, your king self, beyond gender. Just knowing that you can access your highest goal. I don't know that that's what she's saying, but it sounds like it to me. See yourself already reaching that, already accomplishing that. Even if it feels impossible at this time. See what part of you can access that. And notice if there's energy that releases or liberates as a result. And dance with it, right? Work with it. I have my dancer kitty with me, who likes to do contact improv. Great. So next we're going to move on to Mars in Pisces. That is trine this new moon in Ophiuchus with Mercury. So that is that cosmic wisdom coming through. But Mars in Pisces is the spiritual warrior. So trine is about support. So that cosmic wisdom is supporting the spiritual warrior at this time. But there's also T-square with Mars, which is like big lesson. Like, okay, it might feel kind of edgy right now. And that is with Pluto and Sirius. And Pluto, right, that dark feminine. Some of you might know Kali. Kali is this dark goddess who basically kills egos in the Hindu tradition. And she's got her tongue sticking out and she's got skulls all over, right? So you might be feeling a little bit of that right now. You might have these like, oh shit, you know, that and that, oh god, this is painful, I can't, you know, there's these blocks might be there, or there might be ways in which you're being forced to let go, right? And so like we were doing with our last aspect, then we have Sirius, who is Isis, right? Isis is this Egyptian goddess with these big wings and big open heart, so I invite you to bring that in too. And she kind of looks down and around, and she just is her whole embodied full self, right? She's like, I can, you know, be present to the darkness and whatever, like I'm not scared, I'm just here and big and beautiful. So I invite you to bring that big and beautiful, those expansive wings in, to dance with those while noticing whatever it is you're being forced to let go of. And holding that alignment, that spiritual warrior inside of you, that rod of truth that grounds into the earth, into the roots, and is up to the sky, up to the heavens. So you are this union of the yin and yang, and you're working with staying aligned, staying focused, staying directed, while witnessing all of the slashing that's happening all around you. can't go to restaurants, like because of COVID, you know, all these challenges and all this, the horrors that we're seeing of what's happening to people around the world because of COVID and of climate change and just human rights violations all over the place, right? And it's disturbing. That said, yes, we need to let go of certain ways in which we have lived, the ways that consumerism and materialism have driven us and have controlled us. We need to let go of that, and though some parts of us may have a hard time with that. But that said, here we are, right? And Isis is like, I love you, I love you. I'm here. You are loved and supported. Open your heart. And she's in Gemini, so she's offering these possibilities and perspectives and opportunities. If we just open our eyes to see if we can just get perspective and stay aligned, right? So be with that spiritual warrior self. With your roots, with your crown too, moving forward, taking a step at a time. And allowing yourself to be transformed. As you open your wings to those possibilities, saying, yes, I can. Yes, I will. Yes, okay. And also surrendering the ways that we have to let go of old parts, old patterns that do not serve. Be able to show up for what is needed in the collective at this time. To do the work of decolonizing, breaking down the systemic structures, patriarchy, materialism, consumerism, racism, internalized oppression on all levels, ableism, sexism, right? Being honest with ourselves where those parts still play in. Where we might want to, oh, I really, just want support here, but really, I need to be here. Here with myself. Calling in what I need. Asking for what I need. And giving it to myself as much as I can as well. And we're going to move on to the next. That is still intense. We have Uranus and Aries that's square Saturn and Sagittarius. So Uranus and Aries. Uranus is this planet of wild change, liberation, and freedom. And has, I think, like 5 different or 7 different poles there's some chaotic energy there. I think of Uranus and Aries as like the coyote, that trickster that comes in and is like, you were thinking about this, what about that, you know? So, and he's square Saturn. So Saturn is that like discipline, order, structure, you know? So they're teaching each other. They're like having it out. There's a bit of a paradox, maybe conflict, but really it can be more of a lesson that is being learned because of that tension. So also that semi-sextile Chiron in Pisces. So there's an outward expansion of those spiritual wounds that can be healing, and it can be integrative and being able to support us to step into our teacher leader out of the wounds that we carry because of the lessons that we're learning. So I invite us to be present with this tension and the resistance between that structure of Saturn and the freedom of Uranus, or you could say like order and improvisation, or flow and another word around structure. I'm not thinking of it. But so I invite you to feel the structure of your body while being with the freedom inside. So feel those bones, right? And then bring in some movement that brings in freedom with those bones. Because we gotta have some stability to be able to really feel free and to launch out of them, right? It's not one or the other, it's actually both and. But whenever we might get ungrounded or feel like, oh wait, where am I? Come back to the bones. So what can you learn from a new balance of structure and freedom in your life? Or you could say even, you know, yang and yin. Some might say masculine and feminine too, but I like structure and freedom right now. So can you be present to all the needs that you have in you, but without having to figure out how they're all going to all get met or how to heal it? Really just witness them as they arise, honor them. Oh, that would be so great, right? Like, oh, I really need that. Oh, that part of me really needs that. And to hold it and see, well, what way can I offer that to myself?
Deep within weightlessness exists that silent moment when you will meet yourself. Bound by neither mind nor thought, slowly, gently, you slip into infinite space.
So what is infinite space, huh? My context for that is that portal through the galactic center where Ophiuchus is. That's where we're merging with the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. So we can access this much larger expanse of cosmic wisdom if we open our being to it. If we open our senses, open our bodies, literally ourselves, to receiving. And that might structure. Walk it out. And we're going to move on in a little bit to the next and second to last aspect that we're going to work with. Regulate your breath. Regulate your awareness in your body. And this last one we're working with is Neptune in Aquarius. And Neptune is out there with Uranus, and he is this like deep seer of the future, of what's to come. Very cold planet. And he's in Aquarius right now. And Aquarius is that archetype of like, how are we going to do this together? How are we going to create equality in a brother-in, a sister-in together that is about union and collective leadership? So we are pulling these insights, these visions, these knowings down, and they happen to be square in the new moon. So there's these lessons being learned. Okay, so how is this going to work, right? The cosmic wisdom is coming through, and we might like bring some real truth, some voice, some really embodied knowing, some expression that emerges like out of the unknown. There will be insights that arise right now, and it might not be easy to receive. So I invite us to go into those places of unknown, into these kinds of practices where we move and we sound and we create, we draw, we do these creative practices to receive who we are and what we need right now, moving forward to be in that collective leadership. And there's also a sextile to the Pluto, dark feminine Kali energy, and a semi-sextile to the spiritual warrior, the Mars. So this is a little complex, but right now the question I'm asking is, like, how can the dark shadows of our lives really bring us fuel? Can that be fuel of what we're releasing to root more deeply with the actions that we're taking with the spiritual warrior that is in service to collective awakening and collective leadership? So as we're doing this work, right, maybe we're working with others, there's a lot of releasing that's needed. And that feed the soil and feed the roots that we are growing down. Even if it feels like we're disintegrating, we're falling apart. And then all of a sudden you might realize, oh, I'm getting nourished and I'm regrowing. And that might take some time too, right? We're in the dead of winter, we're getting there. So we're in the releasing and letting go with a seed of insight, a seed of creation. So invite that compost to fuel you in the growing down deeper into those roots and receiving the wisdom of this time, receiving through your senses. last song, we're going to return to the new moon, the sun, and Mercury and Ophiuchus.
I come to speak with you.
So I invite you to simply allow yourself to receive. You might want to lie down, close your eyes, put a pillow under your back, or just really come into a yin, restorative, receptive position. And ask yourself the questions that you need answers to. And receive what it is that you are planting. What are those seeds for you at this time?
I am made of seeing stars and dust and wind. I am made of seeing stars and dust and wind.
Receiving into this body, into your being.
Gathering. All that I know is that my heart is remembering an ancient memory of all that we have been. Wisdom of the invisible, the seed from where all life begins. Where all life begins. Where all life begins. Where all life begins. Higher, 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 higher. Higher, 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 higher. Higher, 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 higher. Higher, 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 higher. I'm being given the key to find the place of trust in trust itself. I am being set free. I am being shown the pathways to the home of my soul. The path I walk is the path that was made for only me. Life, I trust that you bring me what I need. This is shaping me. I am growing into life. All these teachings are giving me wings. All these teachings are giving me wings. Ancestors
Honoring your experience, where you are in this moment. Slowly transitioning to seating. I invite you to take a deep breath in, honoring yourself and your experience, thanking yourself for being here, and letting out a tone. And then breathing in again, honoring all beings who helped you to be here today in so many ways, and letting out a tone, honoring them. And then breathing in one more time, deep and big, honoring all beings everywhere. May we awaken to this natural greatness of being, so we may help all beings awaken. Thank you so much for honoring yourself and doing this practice. And I will be continuing for the full moon as well. And I invite you to continue integrating this experience for the new moon and supporting yourself through this great conjunction and the solstice. Blessed be.